Imagine you're home alone and you hear someone trying to break into your house. You're terrified, but you can't defend yourself because you don't have the means to do so. This scenario might sound extreme, but it's reality for many people, especially in areas where owning a firearm isn't an option. I believe that people who are legally and mentally stable should have the right to own firearms for self-defense. This is not just a matter of personal safety. It's protected by the Constitution, and it's a practical way for ourselves in an increasingly dangerous world to protect ourselves. First, let's talk about the Second Amendment, which guarantees the right to bear arms. It's not just about hunting or sport. It's about protecting yourself. In a society where crime can happen at any time, being able to defend yourself is a fundamental right. Law enforcement can't always get there in time, and we shouldn't have to wait for help when our own safety is on the line. Second, firearms are an effective tool for protection. Every year, firearms are used over 2 million times in self-defense situations within the United States. Many of these situations don't involve firing a shot. Just the mere presence alone of a gun is enough to deter crime. We've seen stories where legally armed citizens have stopped robberies or attacks before the police were even able to respond. In those moments, a firearm can be the difference between life and death. Now, I know some people are worried about gun ownership and how it is achievable to some. We already have laws in place, like background checks and mental health evaluations, to ensure that firearms don't fall into the hands of the wrong people. And on top of that, gun safety courses and training are widely available, ensuring that people who own firearms know how to properly use them. Some might argue that allowing more people, so to speak, to own guns will just lead to more violence. But the reality is, law-abiding gun owners who make the time to follow the laws and get proper training aren't the problem. In fact, studies have shown that firearms are used more often for self-defense than committing crimes. Guns in the hands of responsible people actually help crime to be deterred, and it helps protect families. Others may say that mass shootings are a reason to restrict gun ownership. And I understand that this is a concern, but restricting gun ownership for law-abiding citizens isn't the answer. It's the criminals who break the laws and use guns to hurt people. Instead of taking away guns from responsible people, we should focus on enforcing existing laws to keep guns out of the hands of those who would use it to harm people. In conclusion, people who are legally and mentally stable should be allowed to own firearms and purchase them for self-defense. It is a constitutional right that is backed, and it is also practical, and it can be done responsibly with the right safeguards in place. I urge you to support responsible gun ownership laws that allow law-abiding citizens to protect themselves and their families. The right to defend yourself is one of the most basic freedoms we have, and we shouldn't take that away from people who are capable of doing so responsibly. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope that you understand why I believe that everybody who is mentally stable and legally allowed to should own firearms.